time. Doing gang things, living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. One time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. One time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. Look at you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters, got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side, hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy, could've turned out like your homeboy. Been on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had gold. Brand new you on the old time road, take care. Home where you bust your low. Black men don't teach, screaming bump the hoe. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. One time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the folk that have moved up. Even if you had a slow start screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty rolls. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. To stay hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 2020 twins, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't throwing nothing, I'ma say these bands won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God, who is that man? This real man talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you peep these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah. Doing cane things. Living super clean. That it came up.
1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that wop, I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a ring. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of men the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect. And he leading us aboard when them chariots fly. I don't really think you hear me though. You can't cross this bridge on some billy goats. Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. Be help me, shout it, let the silly go.
1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane things. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my foe that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord, saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono. Happy Thursday to everyone. Praise God for another week here with y'all. Sorry, y'all. Just trying to get this fan working. Yeah, it's happy to be here with y'all again. All praises to the Most High. You're safe. I'm assuming everyone's healthy. Y'all doing good. All right, then. Praise God. Praise Him. Rachel. Please allow me to introduce myself just in case this is your first time here. I do go by Miss Mono's World in these content creator streets, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all the places the content creators feed, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. If you're not on our YouTube, please head over to the YouTube at Monologue Magad, MONOLOGMAGAD. You can catch up on past episodes, visuals for music, all kind of great things. Get to know us. We have a couple of videos on there of us with our family. So yeah, if you're not ready on the YouTube, head over to the YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Turn it up on the YouTube. Okay. This would be the time when I would usually talk to y'all about Nasaya TV, but we don't have Nasaya TV anymore. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. It was a great platform, great family friendly content, a spectrum of family friendly content, not just biblical, but also secular, some just really great content. So sad that we lost it. Hopefully we'll learn a lesson from it and try to do better to support those of us who are out here distributing the kind of material that we say that we want. That's the thing. Like, we say we want these things. We say we want these things. People go out and do these things. And it's kind of like people, I feel like the support is like, well, if it's not mine, then I'm not going to support it. And that's not cool. We have to do better. So let's support each other. When you see righteous content being put out, support it, get behind it, like, share, comment. You don't have to agree with everything the person said, but people beg for righteous content. And then when it's there, so yeah. All right, y'all. So our topic is why Boaz don't want your ass. You won't give him what he needs. Okay. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. But okay. Congratulations to everybody who is getting a paycheck now. I don't know how many of you guys were affected by the government shutdown, but I know you're happy it's over. My mom was one of the people affected. I'm trying to think, was anybody else in my family affected? I know my mom was. And yeah, so she's been working for 40 days with no check, a month and a half with no check. And yes, they are getting back pay, but they're going to divvy it up. So, you know what I mean? It's been a lot going on, but I'm just thankful for everyone that it's over, okay, and people can start collecting their income that they have earned again, okay? Now, I do want to say this, though, right? Because when the government shutdown was going on, it was all, no, we're not shopping this holiday. We're not going to let them do this to us. They want to play with us. We're going to show them. I pray that y'all please keep that same energy, because this stuff is still not right what's going on. Like, overall, we, the people, are not being treated fairly in this entire situation. So please, please, please don't go back and be like, oh, they gave us our checks. Time to celebrate. What about all the other issues that we, the people, had laying before the government? You know what I'm saying? So be wise, be wise, be wise. Larnice, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, be wise. If you are participating, we do not celebrate Christmas, but we do have Feast of Dedication. And that can be a gift-giving holiday. A lot of people like to gather. So just, be wise in that. Don't just turn back around and like we do so many other times, forget everything because we got one thing that we asked for. Okay? Okay, so let's it's been some tea this week. It has been some tea this week, okay? I'm sure y'all have heard of the TikTok influencer who was sued by her now boyfriend's ex-wife. Yeah, she would now be the ex-wife. Okay, so she is now the girlfriend. So just in case you're not familiar with all the details, I'm going to run through it for you real quick, and then we're going to talk about it. I also have some other information. Okay, so This is from NBC News. TikTok influencer ordered to pay 100. Look at me trying to increase it already. 1.75 million for seducing manager, leading to the end of his marriage. Now, I think she originally sued her for like 3 million or something like that, but she got awarded the 1.5. A North Carolina jury ordered a TikTok influencer to pay 1.75 million to her manager's ex-wife after the woman accused her of sparking the end of their marriage. Brene Kennard, who has 2.9 million followers on the app, and I've seen her everywhere. Like, you can't be on TikTok or even Facebook. She's on Facebook now too. The girl is everywhere. Was sued by her manager's ex-wife, Akira Montague, under North Carolina's alienation of affection law. We're going to talk a little bit about that law in a little bit. In her complaint, Montague accused Kennard of getting close to her husband and using information from their friendship to pursue her husband. Now, let's sidebar real quick, okay? Because I remember when I was coming up in church, and the first lady told us stories of how women would try to throw themselves at her husband. And in particular, she was telling me a story. She was telling us a story about how this woman was telling her friend like all the stuff that her husband liked and his favorite meals and stuff like that. And she said, I would never tell you what you don't need to know anything about my husband. You see him, he's my husband. That's all you need to know. And I just hate to see this, you know, even though it's an accusation, like to think that she sat there and was telling her homegirl stuff about her husband, which I feel like she shouldn't have did anyway, but for her to turn around and use it, if she did that. Back to the story. Alienation of affection laws allow a spouse to file a lawsuit against a third party if they believe the person caused the other spouse to end their marriage. So she, Akira, the ex-wife, feels like Brene caused Tim, the husband, to leave and go off with her. According to Cornell Law School, cases are typically filed against a person who caused the other spouse to cheat during the time of their marriage. But how do you cause someone to cheat? How do you cause someone to cheat? And listen, I am a believer of causing things to happen. I really believe that is a thing. Like, you don't have to necessarily make someone do something, but you can cause them to do something. How you cause someone to cheat? No, I'm not buying that. Tim Montague served as Kennard's manager, and Kennard was married to his cousin. So now we cousin swapping. That's gross. Kennard, who's in a relationship with Montague, was accused of engaging in behavior designed to seduce the married man, including wearing short skirts and bending over in front of him in the attire, verbally flirting with him, and flicking her tongue to expose her tongue rings in a flirtatious manner. That was a quote, the suit said. Akira Montague said she confided in Kennard about personal matters, thinking they were friends, such as her husband's infidelity during one of her pregnancies, the complaint said. She accused Kennard of having utilized the personal information gained from the friendship to seduce. How? Okay, I'm sorry. But how is that? Okay. She learned of her husband's affair with Kennard in January 2024, the suit said, because of a video of the two of them in the couple's home. In my house? The suit said that Kennard and Tim Montague exchanged, quote, numerous sexual videos and text messages and frequently met in the Montague's marital home. In my house? And please understand, my commenting is not directed toward the other woman. Bro, my house? Like that? Kennard was also accused in the suit of planning and taking trips with the married man, making videos expressing her love for him and making videos expressing her desire to marry him and have 4 to 5 kids with him. Akira Montague said in her suit that her husband began to withdraw emotionally from her as a direct result of Kennard's seduction. But if he cheated on you already while you were pregnant. Okay, but anyway, the suit alleges that he began concealing his financial matters and expenses, including hiding the many outings, dates, transactions, and payments involving Kennard. The defendant has intentionally, wrongfully, and unjustifiably interfered with the relationship between the plaintiff and her husband, the suit said. Akira Montague's lawsuit described Kennard's behavior as malicious, unlawful, willful, and wanton. Kennard was found liable for engaging in criminal conversation. Criminal conversation. I did not know this was a thing until I read this. Criminal conversation with Tim Montague and alienation of affection during his marriage, according to Monday's jury decision. According to the verdict form, the jury found Kennard liable for $250,000 for the criminal conversation claim and awarded another $1.5 million in damages for the alienation of affection claim. She is quoted as saying she said it was okay because she knew her marriage was over with and it was done. That was the reason she gave for feeling like it was okay to have said affair. Hold on, where am I? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to get to your comments. For messing up the marriage. Right, yes, for messing up the marriage. It was in the house. In the house? That's crazy. Shalom and shalom, Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me. Rebecca, shalom and shalom. Interesting case. Wow, this is a lot. Yeah, so let's get to the law, right? Because I was like, what? You can actually do this? So let's get to the law. Let me share the screen with you when I went, because I definitely, you know me, I'm going to read. I'm going to find out what's going on. Okay. So, as of 2016, hold on, let me fix the screen here. Sorry, y'all. It's like multiple steps. You know what I'm saying? It's a one-man band. It's a one-man band. Okay. As of 2016, alienation of affection was recognized in 6 states: Hawaii, North Carolina, Mississippi, New Mexico, South Dakota, and Utah. Okay. To prove alienation of affection, because you're like, how can you prove that? To me, how can you prove it? To prove alienation of affection, you must demonstrate that a happy marriage with genuine love existed. The defendant's wrongful and malicious actions caused the love and affection to be destroyed, and you suffered damages as a result. So you basically have to prove that in this case, the other woman caused your husband to not love you. Like your husband was just in love with you. Everything was fine. Everything was perfect. And then here comes this strumpet, and all of a sudden your husband's not in love with you anymore and he wants to go off with her. This is how you prove alienation of affection. So, okay, to prove that the marriage had genuine love and affection, because it's guidelines to prove all this stuff. So to prove that the marriage had genuine love and affection, you have to show the marriage was happy and loving before the defendant's interference. Evidence like cards, love letters, photos, or social media posts can demonstrate affection. Witness testimony from friends and family to attest to the strong relationship you and your spouse had. You can collect evidence of shared activities like dates, trips, and attending family events together. To prove that the defendant's actions alienated and destroyed the affection, you have to establish that the defendant's conduct was wrongful and malicious. Collect evidence of defendant's intentional actions, such as a pattern of romantic communication or a clear intent to interfere with the marriage. Because how do you determine wrongful and malicious? Because to me, it's like it can be wrongful and malicious, but once the husband, because we're talking about women in this case, so I'm just using those terms, but once the husband engages with the behavior, how is it, you know what I'm saying? It's not, how is it still wrongful and malicious? That's what I'm saying. Okay, you gather evidence of the emotional and behavioral changes in your spouse, like a loss of interest or a significant shift in their actions. The evidence may include text, email, other communication that show a deliberate effort to separate you from your spouse. And okay, so prove you suffered damages. You show that the alienation of affection caused you emotional distress and other losses. The damages you can claim may include loss of consortium, loss of companionship and affection, emotional suffering, and financial losses. You keep a detailed record of these damages to prove to the courts. I mean, so I read, I was reading some of this stuff earlier this week. I took a road trip with my mom and my daughter. And so we were talking about it in the car, and they were saying that during the court case, when the husband went up to testify, he was telling everybody, like, no, their marriage wasn't serious. They were basically just roommates at that point, which would have been embarrassing as heck to me, because, like, you going to get up in front of the world and tell them that you never loved me? Anyway, Angelina Shalom, Shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. Girl, I'm gonna have to give you the deets in the group chat on the top. I gave you the deets in the group chat. So yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I feel like, to me, okay, like, God forbid I ever find myself in this situation, I'm not coming after the woman. I'm addressing my husband. Okay. Now, then again, I am just saying that because I live in Georgia, a state where you cannot sue for such things. I don't know. Like, if I thought I could get a cool 1.75 million, I might. But I'm just saying, like, outside of any financial ramifications, my beef is with my husband. Like, my beef is with my husband. This woman didn't make any promise to me. And it's like I say all the time, if I fell for this man, I can't get mad at somebody else for falling for this man. My husband is not going to be anywhere he don't want to be. Y'all seen that man? He is 6 foot something, okay? He's not going to be anywhere he does not want to be. So if he was laying up with her, it's because he wanted to. And so now me and him need to deal with that. I'm not about to be out here fighting, screaming and hollering and nothing else like that. And let me tell y'all this, okay? And I hate to sound pessimistic, right? But just because someone else is married, like, just because you have another couple friend, doesn't mean that they're happily married. Just because you and this couple hang out all the time, it does not mean that they're happily married. So even in that, you have to be careful. The Bible tells us not to vent our feelings carelessly. Yes, seek wise counsel, maybe someone who doesn't know your husband. If you're looking for an unbiased third party, that would be wise. But to sit there and tell anybody all your husband's business, all your secrets and everything else, that is just unwise. I would not, negative 10 stars, would not recommend, okay? But yeah, sis gonna have to pay. Sis is gonna have to pay. And so if you live in any of those 6 states, what do we say? Hawaii, North Carolina, Mississippi, New Mexico, South Dakota, and Utah. I want to warn y'all to be careful. Another reason I feel like we need to address this is because a lot of you sisters out there feel like y'all are cool with polygyny. Y'all feel like y'all cool with polygyny. And you know, the brother might tell you, like, yeah, you know, my wife is cool with it, da 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 da. In the meantime, the wife is not. Okay. And then you find yourself in court being sued. So please, just be careful with these games y'all out here playing. Okay? That's all I'm saying. So, okay, on to our next topic. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. A few years ago, was it a few years ago or a few months ago? I don't know. I feel like not too long ago, we heard about the singer Maya. I don't know if y'all know who she is, but old school singer. I mean, she used to be that girl back in the day. She, you know, pulled this whole stunt where she called herself marrying herself. And I guess in the name of continuing stupid, and I have to tell y'all, I've never been a fan of Tiffany Haddish. I've always felt like she was just loud and crass for no reason. She wasn't funny. I feel like she was more of an ignorant stereotype, and that's why people laughed at her so much. So I've never been a fan of her. But apparently, let's read this article and we'll get into it. This is why no man wants her. Tiffany Haddish took a girl trip to Africa and decided to get married, and you won't believe to who. Congratulations are in order for Tiffany Haddish. She's a new bride. During an adventurous safari trip across Africa with her closest friends, the girl trip asked actress decided to get hitched, but not in the way anyone expected. Instead of a grand celebrity romance or secret rendezvous, Hadish pulled the ultimate move and got married in a heartfelt ceremony celebrating personal growth and self-commitment. Now, like the most famous relationship she's ever been in was with Common, but we know he ain't marrying nobody. So the nuptials took place during a real-life girls trip with her three best friends as captured in her new Peacock docuseries, Tiffany Haddish Goes Off, premiering November 13th. Who is watching that? Who is watching that? In a promotional clip for the series, fans see snapshots of the crew's travel, including Hadish walking down the aisle in traditional African wedding attire, setting up a scene that suggests she may have found true love on her journey. The series follows Hadish and three of her friends as they explore various locations in 4 countries. While the actress didn't shy away from flirting with local African kings, her ultimate love story came when she realized the longest and most reliable relationship she'd ever have was with herself. Duh. Like, you with yourself from the moment you're born to the moment you die. That was dumb. Later in the interview, the Emmy-winning actress described the event as a true testament of her self-commitment. If you're going to keep any promises in life, the promises you make to yourself are the main ones you need to be keeping. That's the longest relationship you're going to have, and there's no ceremony for you to you. There's no ceremony for that. It's called birth. She explained, so F it, I'm marrying me. I feel like a lot of this I'm marrying me stuff, I don't need a man stuff, I'm happy by myself stuff comes because people don't want to compromise. They don't want to do the work that it takes to be a part of a relationship, mainly women. Mainly women, because I've no, see, I can't even say that anymore because I was about to say you don't hear men saying they don't need women, but that is not true because these men are walking around saying that. No, I don't need a woman. What I need a wife for? Da 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 da. And that's a whole nother mess. But for from the woman's perspective, I myself have went through those phases. Like, I don't need no man. I'll be all right by myself. And that was usually because I was not ready to be a cooperative part of a relationship. It's hard work, especially if you got a good man. Like, I would assume that you all have a base level of requirements for the type of men that you want to deal with. Having standards for a man means that a man is also going to have standards for you. He's going to expect certain things for the life that he is setting himself up to give you. I mean, why would I want to pay bills for a woman and every time I come in the house, she's fussing, yelling, hollering. I can't get no food cooked. It's always a problem. Why would I want to take care of somebody like that? And so these are the women who you will find doing these silly, ridiculous things. Talking about, I'm marrying myself. I don't understand it. Hey, it could be my Tiffany. No, it's not my Tiffany Haddish bias. I was about to say it could be my bias, but no, it's not my bias. It's not my bias. I really just feel like that's sort of well, nobody wants to play with me the way I want to play, so I'm going to play by myself. I feel like that's that kind of reaction. So, no, we're not doing that. We're not marrying ourselves. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. All right. Was that it? Yeah, okay. So I do have something to show you guys a little bit later, but we'll get to that later on. All right. So, now to our main topic. You don't want to give him what he needs. And first of all, let me say this. Thank you so much to your thoughts, your prayers, your texts, everybody who's checked on us, who've asked about my husband. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you from the bottom of our heart. We really, really do. Brianta, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. We really appreciate it. He's coming along. He's coming along, you guys. But if I can be transparent with y'all, because that's the only way I know how to be. I have to keep it real with you guys, okay? So, y'all know how my husband is. My husband is big dog, okay? He stomp around here. He get things done from the moment his feet hit the ground until we go to bed at night. He is on the move. So this has really been just like a shock for him to not be able to do the things that he's always been used to doing. My husband go out here and throw 355-pound bouncy houses around like it's nothing, and I've seen him do this, and he do it and he keep on going. So for him to not be able to do that, I can see how it's affecting him. He can't even, like, the dog food that we get, the big bag of dog food is like 45 pounds, but it hurts for him to lift that. So I have to step in and, do what I can, and I see how it's affecting him. I do see that. And when the accident first happened, he couldn't move at all. Like, he couldn't even sit up in the bed by himself. Like, I would have to kneel in the bed and like lift him up. It was like that. And even now he can't just sit up like you or I could. He has to, like, you remember when you was big pregnant and you had to like swing to your side and swing your legs over and then pick your body up. That would, like, he has to do the pregnant lady rollover. Okay. And so at first, my thinking was, I'm just gonna be here to support him, whatever he needs: food, water, pillows, meds, whatever, drive you around. I'm here for all that, right? And a few days ago, he was like, "You don't take care of me. You're not taking care of me," or something. He was like, "You don't love me." He was stating to me that there was something that he needed that I wasn't giving him, right? And so I had explained to him, like, "Well, you're up. You said you don't need my help anymore. You're up. You're trying. You know what I'm saying? So I figure you don't need me like that." And so he had to explain to me, like, "No, I don't need you in that way, but I need you more in this way. I need you to care for me in the emotional aspects a little bit more." Right? And for me, that's not that's odd for him. He's not like that. I mean, yeah, he's affectionate and loving and that, but it's never been a "I need you emotionally" type thing. And it took me a while to process this, because this is a new side, a new dynamic in our relationship, right? And of course, I'm gonna adjust. We gonna figure out how to make it work together. Of course, no questions asked, right? But it got me to thinking about how often we do not allow others around us to grow and change. A lot of times when you meet a person in a particular place, you have a problem adjusting your relationship when that person grows out of that place. Okay. For instance, the friend who maybe when y'all started being friends, you didn't have a car, right? So you needed them to take you everywhere. And as long as you didn't have a car and you needed them to take you everywhere, that was your road dog. Like, y'all went everywhere together. That was your home girl. Everything was cool because you depended on them to take you everywhere, right? And so time goes on and now you got your own ride. You coming up on your own. Now you're not so dependent on said friend to take you everywhere all the time. And it's hard for them to handle that. Some people can't deal with you not needing them in the relationship. It makes them feel secure. It gives them a sense of peace that you need them. And so when you don't need them anymore, now this is a whole new dynamic. This is a whole new shift in the relationship. And oftentimes it does not survive. Not saying that it's necessarily one person's fault or the other, but I hate to see friendships lost over misunderstandings like this. Because it's not that I don't still love you. It's not that you don't still love me. We still homegirls. It's just now I don't need you as much. So we don't have to hang out as much. I don't have to be with you all the time. You understand what I'm saying? And with this gift giving season that we're in, it also made me question how we deal with new information in our relationship with God. Because listen, I grew up in Black church, right? And I did not understand at the time, but Black church is really just melanated Catholicism that takes longer. Because we used to be in church all day. Okay. It's really melanated Catholicism. Um, and so we had our celebrations. So this time of the year, you're getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas. You're getting ready to gather with your family. You're preparing for your Black Friday shopping and getting your finances in order and all these things that we usually do around this time. And what about when you come into the knowledge that maybe these holidays are not pleasing to the Most High? Like, maybe he's not cool with you celebrating the genocide of Native Americans. Maybe he's not okay with the celebration of colonization. And if you would just do a little research on the origins of Christmas, you will understand that it all started from debauchery. There's a celebration called Bacchanalia. You can Google it, Bacchanalia, something like that. It was to the point that when the Europeans that wanted to separate themselves from the Catholic Church, when they made that voyage and came to this country, they banned Christmas. Christmas was not allowed to be celebrated because of the debaucherous origins of the day. And when I talk about debauchery, I'm talking about just filth and sin and all kind of immorality. That's what debauchery is, okay? And so when you come into this information and you realize the thing that you grew up doing may not be pleasing to God, I get that that can cause a problem, right? Because, well, it seems like I've been doing good all this time. My relationship with the Most High is great. Why are you coming to me telling me that now I must make another sacrifice? Now you're trying to tell me that there's something else that I can't do? How is that right? And so it's odd to me when you get people who walk around and say their love for God is unconditional and they love God so much and there's nothing that can separate them from the love of God, because they'll pull that scripture out in a moment, won't they? Right? What can separate you from the love of God? And they'll tell you this all the time until you start coming and picking with the thing that they love. And not eating pork is not new information. That's not new information. The fact that pork is bad for you, the fact that most religions what is it called, forbid eating pork, like that's not new information, right? But when you come to a person who has grown up thinking that it was okay and downright preferable to crack open a pack of bacon for breakfast and a slab of ribs for dinner, and you're coming to them telling them like, hey, actually the Bible says that this is forbidden. Now they got smoke. Now it's time to go to war, because what you mean I can't have my freaking pork rinds and my pig feet? What are you saying? They're ready to fight you about it. But why? If your relationship with God is so solidified, new information should not shake you to the point of anger. I read a while ago that the sign of an intelligent mind is to be able to receive information, filter it, and decide what to do with it, right? So the wise thing to do is to take the information in, go research it yourself, come to your own conclusion and work out your own salvation. This is the wise thing to do. But unfortunately, we live in a day and time of the internet, and everyone has the same freedom, just like I am right now, to get on the internet and get behind their phone or whatever microphone they have available and spew their feelings. And the problem with this is you cause those who are not as mature in the faith to wander over things that may not be pertinent to salvation. Okay. Or even things that may have been a part of their journey. Cognitive dissonance is hard to deal with. It is very hard to deal with. I remember when I first kind of started self-learning, and I was learning about all of the lies that I had been told in school and the lies that I had been told in church. And it's hard because you're trying to upset the very foundation that I have built my life on. I get it. It can be hard. You're talking about changing my belief system, the very system that I use to make my decisions day in and day out, the very system that I am using and depending on a reward at the end of my life because I followed the rules of said system. And so now when someone comes to you with some new information, it can be shocking to you. It's like, do you mean that my relationship hasn't been real this whole time? Because that's what I went through when I started coming into more of the truth of the Bible. It really caused me to think like, well, do I really love God like I say I do? I mean, do I know the God that I was saying that I love? And I want to bring it to you like this, okay? You in your life have grown and changed. I hope so. I hope you are not the same person that you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I pray that you are not that same person. If you are, then that's going to be some background work, okay? Like DM me. um But in saying that, you've grown and you've changed. The things that you like have grown and changed. And that is part of the human experience. You would expect for whoever your husband is, your partner in life, your friends, whoever these people are, you would expect them to accept that because you expect that they, like you, also grow and change. My husband is not the same husband I married 11 and a half years ago. I'm not the same wife he married 11 and a half years ago. Okay. Thankfully, we have grown for the better, right? That requires us allowing each other to go through whatever changes we may need to go through. Okay. And sometimes, yes, it can be hard on the other side because you're like, what is going on with you? All of a sudden you're asking for like the story I told you guys in the beginning, what is going on? All of a sudden you need this thing. And now I can see my husband was in a very serious car accident. I can see what caused the change. I've been with him to the doctor's appointments. So he has there are physical signs that he's going through something and this is a period of change for him. But what about when there aren't physical signs? And to get back to the Most High, he's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. It's not that he's growing and changing, it's that we are growing and changing, and our worldview is being widened. When you are a child, all you know is that Jesus loves me. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. Green and yellow, black and white, we are precious in his sight. This is what you know. You know, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Our Father, which art in heaven, give us this day our daily bread. This is what you know of God because this is your worldview at the time as a child. Okay? Not only have you come of age, or we are adults already in this age of information. Okay, so you're dealing with growing up already, which causes your mind to expand on top of being in the information age, which means you have access to infinite sources and amounts of knowledge. Okay. So it's not that God is changing. God has not changed. The way that you were introduced to him was not a whole picture. And why would you expect a whole picture? You understand what I'm saying? If you meet me on day one, you're going to meet Miss Mono. You're going to get put together Mrs. Phillips. You're going to meet Ray Shanette, okay? You're not going to meet Ray Ray. You're not going to meet Juicy, which is what my husband, you're not going to meet none of them people. You're going to meet my representative, okay? Hear me though. I'm not saying that God is hiding from you, but you just met his representative. All right? Which you could take that literal. Consider yourself a representative. It is impossible for one person to fully exclaim to you the vastness that is our creator, and we should not expect them to. Okay, this is the downfall of Black church. We keep relying on the pastor to bring us all things godlike when the responsibility is really on us. Okay, so as you begin to open your worldview to other things, it doesn't cause you to get upset. You don't get mad when you find out about new food. You realize the food was there all the time. It was just up to me to discover it. You don't get mad when you find out about new clothes. The clothes were there all the time. It was just up to me to discover it, especially when you discover like a vintage brand like Go Yard or something like that that's been around forever. It's maybe just not as popular. It was there the whole time. You just had to discover it, okay? And so I wish that we would give the Most High the same grace and mercy that we want for ourselves when it comes to him and when it comes to our relationship with other people. And now, see, we don't really need it with him because he knows everything about us. He created us. He knew our end from our beginning. Before I knit you in your mother's womb, I knew you and called you. Okay, so he's not learning anything new about us. We're the ones that are learning new things about him. And so the same grace and mercy you would want from your partner if something was to happen to you, when you get laid off, when you're going through a hard time, when you're sick, that same grace and mercy to deal with those changes is the same grace and mercy that we need to have when we find out things about the Most High through no fault of his own, only through the defect of the people who were representing him at that time. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, okay, like, okay, perfect example. Okay, like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. Oh, I love you too, babes. I think you was talking to Angie. Okay. Loving this breakdown of our relationship with God and the people we love. All praises to the Most High. And so, the same grace that you want for your changes is the same grace that you need to have in your relationship with the Most High. He's not a liar. He never lied to you. He's not the son of man that he should lie. Okay? So it's not that. So I hate to see people just totally disconnect themselves from the Bible because they found out that something was in there that they didn't know before. It's been there the whole time. You just were never directed to read it. It's like, have you ever at the end of the school year, I know I'm about to have a nerd moment, but at the end of the school year, have you ever went through your old school textbooks and found something that y'all didn't read during the school year? And you was like, oh, wow, that's in there? And I get that we're talking about your spiritual well-being. So I'm not saying not to take it with the gravity that it deserves. It absolutely is a priority in your life. But understanding that we are dealing with faulty people, faulty systems, and faulty things, the same way you look at any other book and discover something and take it in, should be the same grace you have when you read something in the Bible. Just because you found something new doesn't mean that everything else that you thought was a lie. That's not what that necessarily means. Now, Sometimes that is what that means. And this requires a whole reevaluation. But more times than not, it's just additional information. Okay, it's like I'm trying to think of a person, but like, okay, I didn't like onions when I was younger. I did not, could not stand them. I thought they were gross. Ew, onions, poo. What am I gonna do with that? Now, please, I need onions and everything. Saute it, chop them up, feed them to me raw. I don't care. I love onions, right? Nothing about me changed. I'm still the same person. My taste just grew. Right. And so now that I realize, I like onions, I'm not mad at anybody for misleading me or not making, you know what I'm saying? It's nobody else's fault. We have to let go of the anger that comes with finding new information. It's not a thing of, oh, these people lied to me. Yes, they did. But that means you throw away your whole relationship with the Most High because someone came and misled you? That does not make any sense at all. I heard a speaker say a long time ago, once you get new information, you are now responsible for it. And for a long time, that made me stop reading. I would stop looking at any videos that had anything to do with the Bible or anything to do with God, because you mean to tell me that if I find out something else, now I have to change? Yes, that's exactly what that means. But the fact of the matter is that you don't realize it's for your own good. It is for your own good. Anything that you find out about the Most High is meant to edify and to build upon you. Listen, I'll be 45 on the 20th, Lord willing. I'll be 45 on the 20th. And in my 45 years, I want to think about what I'm going to say before I say it. In my 45 years, I have never made a sacrifice to better myself, whether it be spiritual or natural, and it has not paid off. That's never been the case. I sacrifice time to work out and my health and my body improves. I sacrifice my eating for a day to fast. Not only does my health improve, my mind state improves, my spiritual health improves. I sacrifice my spending to save some money. So now eventually when I see the big thing I want, I get it. I've yet to see sacrifice without reward, especially when you're sacrificing for the Most High. Okay? And yes, it's hard, especially this time of year. I call them the dark months, okay? And please understand that it is no accident that Christmas is filled with lights. Like, Christmas lights are not an accident. Halloween lights are not an accident, okay? If you look into the background of these things, they lit fires and made lights to help guide the spirits through the darkness. You understand what I'm saying? None of this is just, oh, it's fun and it's festive. No, this all has a more significant meaning in the background. We've just modernized it by being able to plug in the lights now, so you don't have to have a Yule log in your fireplace. Now you can just plug in some lights, but it serves the same purpose. Sorry, y'all, I got seasonal allergies on top of basement allergies, so that's not cute. But it all serves the same purpose. Okay. It's just like it's just like flipping a switch on the wall. You don't have to walk around with the candle anymore. You turn on the light. Now it provides the same light for the same reason. So I can see in this room. Same thing when you start talking about holiday lights. It's providing it's the same reason to allow the spirits to guide their way through the darkness. once you start to realize the beginning of these things, you will see that like it's usually, thank you so much. Thank you. Hubby to the rescue. Thank you, dear. And once you start to find out about these things, you will usually find out that it's things that we had no business being involved in the first place. If you would take the time to read, to study, to seek out information. And I have to tell you, like, I saw a post the other day on Facebook and it really disturbed me because it was like, the post said, can you have a relationship with God without reading the Bible? And there were people like, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. How, my dear? How can you claim to have a relationship with God and you won't read the very text that he gave you to get to know him? How can you claim to have a relationship with me and all you know is my name? You don't have a relationship with me. You know me. People know me. Anybody can look me up on Facebook and know my name. You don't have a relationship with me, though. You don't know anything about me. You don't know what I like. You don't know what I require to be in a relationship. I'm not just friends with any old body. And so I venture to say that a lot of times what you are perceiving as new information may just be information that makes you uncomfortable with what you thought you knew or what you had been told. Um, when I was talking with my mom when we were on our road trip and we were talking about outreach, right? Because she's big on outreach. So we were talking about outreach and I was explaining to her how outreach is different today. Back in them days, 80s, 90s, you could walk up to people, you could witness to them, you could hand them the little chicklet and a little free Bible if you had one, pray for them, tell them to come to church and send them on their way. But now people have knowledge. They're coming with questions. You have to be able to answer these questions. Defending the faith takes on a new meaning when you really have to defend your faith. And one of the favorite things that she loves to tell people when they don't understand is, oh, some things are just by faith. Some things are just by faith. That's not going to work anymore. That's not going to work anymore. And it should not work anymore for you. One of the things that made me start learning more, and this is kind of why I'm glad I went to college in the North, because it pushed me to learn more, because you're surrounded up there by people who did not go to church all their life. Like they did not spend their life in church. You're surrounded by Muslims, 5%ers, Nation of Islam. You got different Nation of Gods and Men. So you have these different groups of people who are also Black, who are telling you that everything that you thought about your Bible is wrong. Okay. And I'm thankful for that experience because I've always had questions and I've always wanted to be able to give people an answer. Even as a child, I had questions, but I was always told, well, that's what the pastor said. So this is what our faith says. So we just accept it. Okay. And so imagine me in a new place having to relearn everything that I thought that I grew up with. Okay. Because the first thing they come for is, well, why do y'all celebrate Christmas? Why do y'all celebrate Easter? Don't you know that those have pagan origins? And you're just sitting up there like, what do you mean pagan? I've been in an Easter pageant every year for as long as I can remember. How are you going to tell me that this is demonic now? And I mean, literally rip apart everything that you thought you built your life on, everything that you thought everything that you thought the most important relationship in your life was based on is now being destroyed, not just by people saying it, but with facts. With facts. They're going to black and white text to show you, actually, this is what this is. Actually, this is what this means. Can your relationship with God withstand correction? Because it wasn't wrong. It was me with the misunderstanding. But now, does that mean that God is wrong? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let God be true and every man be a liar. My God is not wrong. Okay? So let's establish that in your mind. The way we were taught, the way we were delivered the message, that's what's wrong. And that's what needs to be changed and redone. If somebody came to me and told me that they seen Angelina out there eating shrimp. You know she live in Florida. They see Angelina eating shrimp out there at a restaurant by the shore. I'm not just gonna take their word for it and be like, oh my gosh, she's such a sinner. I can't stand her. Nah, I'm gonna go and check. I'm gonna go and ask, like, sis, this is what are these people saying? Like, what is this? I don't know why we're so quick to throw God away just because you learn something new about him. But if you were to tell something new to someone who you thought loved you, you would expect them to stay with you. I know women who have married, I know a woman in particular who married this man, had a whole child, and did not tell the man until after they were married. And they still married some 40 odd years later. That is an exception to the rule. I'm not saying that that's what you should do. Okay? But listen, ladies, let me tell y'all something. If perimenopause has not come for you, it is coming for you. Okay? And while you may think that you have everything all situated and under control, I'm here to tell you that your hormones will reveal to you very shortly that you in fact do not. And you are going to need a lot of grace and mercy during that time. When you come home and you want to try something new, and you want to try it with your friend or with your boyfriend or with your husband or whatever, you want them to go along with it, right? Like, that's what you expect from somebody who loves you. Like, come on, try this new thing with me. It's something I really want to do. And I mean, I know my husband do. He'd be like, all right, come on, shoot, let's try it. I made my family go to a Thai restaurant one time because I wanted to try some Thai food. So we all went to this Thai restaurant. It was horrible. Nobody liked it, but it was an experience that we had that we can talk about, right? Some of you don't allow your mind to go past what's in front of you, and that's dangerous. You can't get past how you met a person. If when you met this person, they didn't like black beans, then they can never start liking black beans because now you're going to start looking at them weird and funny. Talk about, oh, you're trying to switch up on me and everything else. If you cannot handle change, you don't belong in a relationship. I'm going to be honest with you. You don't belong in a relationship because people are constantly growing and changing. And there have been so many divorces because, oh, I outgrew this person, or they started changing and acting different, or I couldn't deal with this and I couldn't deal with that. And I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm not saying that. But I do know what has worked for us so far is honesty and communication. Be honest about how you feel. It's okay to go to the Most High and be like, I don't understand this. Like, what are they saying here? It's okay to go to a trusted elder if they have expressed that to you. I'm sorry, because every elder doesn't feel the same. So if they have expressed that to you, it's okay to go and ask questions. And here's the other flip side of that, though. If that person you go to doesn't have the answer to the questions, it's not a deficit in them. As long as they're willing to say, you know what, I don't know, but let me look at it. Let me find out and I'll get back to you. Like, as long as they're willing to give you that, then that is a person you can grow with. Okay. But don't go to someone who you know is stuck in their ways and is not going to change their way of thinking. That will leave you stuck and frustrated. Okay. When I first started discovering the Bible and the truth of it, I came to my parents with it and they immediately shut me down because this is not what they had been taught all their life. It left me stuck and frustrated. I didn't know where else to turn, especially when I had came back to Atlanta. I didn't know where else to turn to find out more information or to confirm the things that I was learning. Okay, so that can leave you in a bad place. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Okay. So I have been talking to y'all about this wonderful book a sister friend of mine has written. It's called Who Made Me? And I decided to bring the actual physical book because the website doesn't really let you appreciate the book like this. The website is, hold on, let me get the name of the website for you. herchosenpath.com. herchosenpath.com is a website where you can get the book. Listen, look at the pictures. Look at this. I love this book. It is just so welcoming. It starts with explaining who is Yahweh, okay? And then it gets into poems for your kid. The pictures, I don't know if y'all can see the picture, but I mean, I'm telling you, the detail in this book, the color, I love it. Okay. I love this book. Y'all really should get it. It starts from the womb. It grows with the child. Every poem rhymes, which makes it easy for them to remember and to read along with. And then, hold on. At the end, there's a letter from the author, which is beautiful, right? And questions to guide conversations with you and your child. Prayers at the end. Y'all, listen, Feast of Dedication is coming up. Or if you just know a child who you'd like to bless with the book, Who Made Me, go to herchosenpath.com. You will also get a very beautiful thank you card with your order. And this is why I love supporting small businesses. It's the personalization, the personal touches that let you know that they really, really appreciate your business. So it's herchosenpath.com. The book is called Who Made Me. Make sure you check that out, okay? All right. So I get that what we are talking about is not easy. It's not just a biblical issue. Biblically, it's the most important because, again, your relationship with the Most High is the most important relationship you're going to have in your life. Okay. Even more than the relationship with yourself. Right. So any little change in that relationship can seem like a big deal, especially when listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, especially when it's something like Christmas, that we've been taught actually has religious meaning, right? I'm celebrating the birth of Christ. What can be wrong with celebrating the birth of Christ? Okay. And so once you start finding these things out, that makes it even more upsetting because it's like, wait a minute, I thought I was doing this for the glory of the Lord. And you mean to tell me that this is something the Most High specifically forbids? I get how that can be crazy work. I get how that can mess with your mind. But I want to implore you to consider all of the information that is coming out now. There is a whole saga about an island where people flew to have secret parties and names on this list that may or may not exist. And we're still finding out new information about this stuff that happened very recently, all in our own lifetimes. And we're still finding out information about this stuff. Okay. So stop thinking of it as an attack on you. It is not an attack on you. Instead, it is a spreading of information and knowledge. That's all it is. And I also want to say that unfortunately, a lot of times, um, what I've seen is people hold on to the knowledge and leave the fruit behind. Like they feel like now that they know precept upon precept and they got a breakdown for everything, the fruit that's supposed to come with your relationship with the Holy Spirit, they feel like that is not necessary now. Do not let new information bind you with hatred and anger, because it's very easy to, especially when you get into our history. Okay, so easy to. Who was it? Oh my gosh, not W.E.B. Du Bois. Gosh, Lee, I can picture his face, but I can't think of his name. Gosh, I cannot think of this man's name. But he said to be a black man in America and to James Baldwin, to be a black man in America and to know the truth is to be in a constant state of anger. That's a paraphrase, but that's some about what he said. To be a black man in America and know the truth is to be in a constant state of anger, right? But I don't want us to be that. And the Most High doesn't want you to be that. How do you suppose to win souls when you're walking around full of hatred? What then do you have that the average person does not have? It is easy to love someone who loves you. But what about, I don't want to say love for those, but what about a peaceful indifference? Okay? Because the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifference in a sense of the word. And so instead of jumping to, oh, I'm going to be mad. Oh, I'm owed so much. Oh, they did our people so wrong and da 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 da. Yes, they did. But vengeance is not yours. And ma'am, sis cousin, all you're doing is making yourself bitter and adding lines and wrinkles to your face. Okay? Hatred and anger is not going to solve any of your problems. I don't like to see women using the truth of history as an excuse to not better themselves. Yes, sure. Black women, we get it the worst. Absolutely. Yes, we have been dog walked from the East Coast to the West Coast, from the North to the South. Sure. Say all of that. Okay. But for you to dwell on it and to base your relationship with God on it is downright cuckoo. God did not set a sword and a shield in your hand for you to go out here and destroy any and everybody who does not agree with you. And I have to say, as a sister who watches other sisters, boy, y'all wear a mean dark pair of shades when it comes to another sister who you feel like you got one up on. any little morsel of thing that you feel like that you can hold on to make yourself better than this sister, you're going to laud it over her head like a tiara on a princess. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the spirit that you are supposed to be moving in. How are you going to win souls when you look down upon everybody? You're not wrong for knowing. But there's knowledge, and then there's application of the knowledge. It's just like they're saying, that saying, a tomato is a fruit, but you don't put it in a fruit salad. So there's knowledge and there's application of the knowledge. Okay. That knowledge has to be applied with the fruit. And that's what I think we're not getting here. Like, yeah, you're supposed to train up a child in the way he should go, but you're supposed to do it with joy, love, patience, kindness, long suffering, temperance, meekness. Remembering that at one time we were all foolish. Like, them precepts are not just for you to recite to other people. They're to teach yourself how to do things and to remind yourself of the spirit that you are supposed to walk in. Praise be for you knowing your precepts and being able to give them out at the right time. There is a time and place for that. Absolutely. But like, okay, like I was talking with my mom and we were talking about doing outreach. And she's like, well, if someone comes to me and asks me to pray for them, I need to know what God they think I'm praying to. And I need to know this and I need to know that. And I got questions and da 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 da. And I was like, Mom, why would you do that? You're just going to drive someone away. Like, why would you do that? If I come to you and I say, ma'am, could you please pray for me? I take you to be a representative of a higher power. Obviously, ma'am, could you please pray for me? And you start asking me questions, I'm just going to walk away. I'm already destitute. You don't know what's going on with me. And she's like, well, what would you do? I would begin to pray for that person and allow the Holy Spirit to minister to me what to pray for them. He is our intercessor. That's what that's for. You can't even depend on people to tell you the truth about themselves, whether purposely or not on purpose, because we're all living in our own perception. So I may think that everything is perfectly fine with me, but my spirit may be haggard on the inside. I need you to pray that my eyes will be open. But if you're asking me all these questions, how am I supposed to know the answer when I'm coming to you asking for help? How many women have been scrolling Facebook, destitute, sad, depressed, looking for help, just to see a post of some so-called sister condemning them for something that they, one, had no knowledge of, two, can't help or control, or three, don't think is a sin? I myself have been in a downtrodden state, scrolling Facebook for whatever, just to find some condemnation for something that has nothing to do with my salvation. You want to be Princess of Zion, daughter of Zion. I'm a child of the Most High. You don't talk to me like that. Your behavior is not becoming of a princess. Your behavior is not becoming of one who says that they represent the Most High. And that's another thing I don't get about y'all. I'm so thankful I have my own relationship, because God forbid I had to depend on your interpretation. I'd never be good enough. My hair would never be okay enough. My face would never be okay. I would never be good enough. Tierra, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. Kanan, shalom and shalom, sis. Oh, there we go. So, in the allowing ourselves to grow because you got all the space for yourself. You got all the space for yourself. As soon as you discover something new, you add it to your regimen and that be it. You discover some new skincare. Ooh, I gotta have this. You discover some new food. Ooh, I gotta have this. You add to yourself all the time. You allow yourself to grow all the time. Why are you so determined to keep God in a box? You don't want an all-knowing, all-seeing, ever-present God. That's not the kind of God you want. You want a God with no hands and no feet. You want a God with no mouth who can't speak. You want a God that you yourself made and you yourself can control. You don't want the creator God. You want your own personal little God. You want to do like Abraham's daddy and them did and had the little statues up in your living room. And you could just put a little piece of food in front of the statue and you feel like you met your spiritual obligations. Let's keep it real. It takes two sides to sustain a relationship. You don't want, if you wanted a relationship with God, you would allow him the freedom to be who he is. You would allow yourself the understanding to get to know him. When that dude want to get with you, he be all up in your business. Every time you turn around, he calling you. Every free moment you have, he's trying to take it. Because he likes you and he wants to get to know more about you and he wants you in his life and he don't want nobody else to get what he wants. So he's going to take up every moment of your time trying to get to know you, trying to get to figure out how to please you. What do you like? What makes you happy? Why won't you return the same energy to God that you claim that you want from a man? Because y'all don't want relationships. Y'all don't want relationships. You want people to do what you tell them to do. You want a God that's going to do what you tell him to do. And you want a husband that's going to do what you tell him to do. You want a husband that's just going to just pay the bills. And that's how you treat God. Just keep me breathing. Just keep me breathing. I don't care about none of that other stuff. You don't have any needs. I'm the one with all the needs. You just keep me breathing. How is that? Being daughters of the Most High is a serious thing. Praise God, we live to please him and not these humans on earth. Hello. You should learn more as you grow. Your knowledge of one thing should never be stagnant. When I first got married, I thought I knew how to cook, right? Because, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I could whip a little something, get in the kitchen and make it happen. I was cooking already. I thought I could cook. But once I became a stay-at-home mom, had time to watch Food Network and experiment with different flavors and different herbs and different combinations of stuff. Oh no, there's a whole other world of cooking out here that I did not know about. I thought I could cook. But now there's more stuff to do. As you grow and change, again, your knowledge of the world around you should grow and change. When we first moved in this house, I think it's been like 5 years now. When we first moved in this house, we situated the furniture in the living room a certain way. Okay. It's like table, couch, fireplace, TV. It was situated. Okay. And that's the way it was for a long time. One day, not too long ago, I was in there cleaning up and I get in these moods where I just have to rearrange some furniture. Like I feel like it's an energy shift. So I rearranged the furniture in the living room. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, it looks so much better in here. Oh, this is so cute. Oh, this is really nice. That's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to see things differently and mature them and change them and improve them. Stop being scared of God trying to improve your relationship with him. That is all he is doing by providing the new information for you. What kind of God would he be if he lets you go throughout your life doing things that he knows don't please him when he also knows he has to judge you at the end? What kind of God is that? What kind of God would he be to set out rules but never tell you what the rules are? It's not some kind of sycophant. This isn't Squid Games. You're dealing with the Most High Creator who loves you and created you for his purpose. He wants what is best for you. He has a design for you. He made you specifically for certain things and not for certain things. This is what's best for you, so this is what you do. You don't eat the things that vacuum the ocean. You don't eat the pigs that eat other animals' poop. You don't do that. Ladies, you don't go out here showing your thighs and everything else. Don't go out here dressed like a man. Men, don't go out here dressed like women. There are rules and they are for a purpose because he loves you. Any new information you find out about him is because he loves you and he wants you to know him. Listen, you know how it is, and I'm wrapping up. That dude that keep messing with you that you really don't like, you don't spend no time talking to him. If I may be transparent with y'all. Now, back in my days, I definitely had certain men that were just for meals. These were my starving college student days. And there was just some days I was just tired of eating ramen. So yes, I had them certain ones. Oh, I know he'll feed me. Do-do-do-do. But after I'm done eating, I'm probably not going to talk to you for like another week or two until I'm hungry again or until I'm bored again. And I just need somebody to take up my time. That's how you treat something or someone you don't love or don't like. You don't need to know nothing else about me besides what's on the surface. We're not getting to know each other. I don't care if you know what my favorite color is because I don't want you to do anything for me beside this right here. That's someone who does not like you, love you, care about you, and is just using you. That's that dude that only call you in the middle of the night. That's that dude that hit you with the you up text and you and your dodo behind me saying, yes, I'm up 1 and 2 a.m. A person who loves you wants you to know about them because they want to make you happy. And in turn, you are to make them happy. That is how a relationship works. I can't expect you to make me happy if I don't tell you about me. I'm sorry that we live in the world that we live in. And I'm sorry that information has been kept for us for so long. I'm sorry that they painted over the faces and they replaced the stories and they changed the names. I'm so sorry. I was reading Judith, which we're going to talk about Saturday in our Bible study group chat. I can't wait. But I was reading Judith, and in Judith, one of the speakers talked about how the children of Israel were descendants of the Chaldeans who did not worship the gods of their fathers anymore. I hate that I'm just now finding that out because there are very much groups of people who walk around these days called Chaldeans. So you mean to tell me? I hate that I'm just finding this stuff out and I know it's not fair. I know it's not fair. And it's hard to change. It's hard to give something up, especially when everybody around you is doing it. You mean to tell me I can't go over there on Christmas no more? You mean to tell me I can't go over there on Thanksgiving? I can't do these things anymore? It's not without replacement. And I hate that we don't have more of a fellowship in Israel. I hate that we don't have more of a fellowship among Bible believers. But please, if you have people that you can reach out to during this season, reach out. Do not isolate yourself in this season. Okay, this is prime time for attacks on mental health because of the loneliness from the winter. It's cold. You're in the house. Then they're feeding you all this propaganda on TV. You're seeing the happy families and the warm meals and the gifts being exchanged. And this is on sale. That is on sale. And you know what I'm saying? You're getting fed all of these messages. And it's really hard during this time. I totally understand that. We have a Bible study group chat. We would love for you to join. If you want to send me a DM, if you know any of the sisters, Angelina, Quana, Brianna, Tierra, they can lead you to the group chat as well. Whatever you can do to be around like-minded people at this time, I am urging you to please do it. Please do it. Okay. Do not fall victim to the propaganda that we are being spewed right now. Okay. Because I promise you, this season will pass. Okay. This season will pass. You'll be fine. You will be fine. Use this as a time to get to know more about the Most High. Okay, get in your word. Find a good Bible study. Find a good group that you can fellowship with and get some of your questions answered. Okay, but please do not isolate yourself at this time. Do not isolate yourself. Do not listen to that voice in your head that's telling you that you're lonely because you're not married or because you don't have kids or you don't have any friends. Nobody loves you. Do not listen to that. You are loved. You are wanted. You are necessary to the body of Christ. Okay. You are necessary to the people around you. Right? So please don't fall for the lies that the enemy would try to put in you this time of year. Okay. I love y'all so much. I hope that something that I said was helpful to you today, whether you're listening live or on the replay. If you're listening on a replay, comment replay. I probably should have said this earlier, but comment replay. Like, share, subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. Please, please, please keep my husband in your prayers. His clavicle is actually dislocated. His collarbone, yeah, it's popped out. So my husband is really going through it. And like I said, this is different for me because my husband is big dog. I mean, big dog. This man, I have seen this man work 24 hours straight, sometimes more than that. And I am not exaggerating. So please, please, please keep him in your prayers. Keep my family in your prayers. If you have any goodwill toward us, please keep my family in your prayers. Keep me in your prayers, y'all, because this is life changing for me too. I'm having to learn another way to show love, another way to be patient. And it's amazing to me, right? That I can be this old and still be having to learn. But yeah, so all praises for that. So yeah, keep us in your prayers. Please keep my family in your prayers. Please, again, reach out. Please, if you are not fellowshipping with a group of sisters, reach out. Okay. There's no obligation. There are women in our group chat who show up once a month, twice a month. Some of them came a few times and they'll pop it up every now and then. There's no pressure. Okay, there's no pressure, but you deserve to be around like-minded people. So yeah. All right. I will be back here with y'all. Same black time, same black station. Hold on, let me make sure I got everything. Thank you to everybody who kicked it with me today. Larnice, Tamara. It's not my fault. Okay, Tia and Tamara, but then I realized it's M-E-R. So Tamara, not Tamara. Okay, got you. Trepeka, Rebecca, Angelina, Brianna, and Quina. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. All praises to the Most High. Look, if one person was helped, then I feel like my job was done. All praise to the Most High. Okay. Yep, I think that's it. I love y'all so much. I will catch y'all right back here next Thursday, 8 o'clock, same black time, same black station. Hold on 1 second. Let me check something because I think next Thursday is your girl's big day. Yes, I'll be turning 45 next Thursday. All praises to the Most High. Listen, I know, right? 45. Like, why you so geeked to turn 45? Every year is a blessing. every year is a blessing. And I've told y'all, like, I've looked forward to my 40s because I just felt like that was a time that I was supposed to have my together. And I am content with where I am now. So yes, this is a blessing. I'm very much looking forward to what the Most High has for me and my family. So thank y'all so much. Let me take my happy self on. I love you so much. I'll see you right back here. Same black time, same black station. Shalom, shalom, and good night.
Doing gang things.
Mono.
Living super clean. Daddy came up.
One time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing.
Tune in to Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass with your host, Miss Mono.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono.
Every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. live on YouTube at Miss Mono's World and Monologue Magad. Now also available on the Saya TV on Roku and Fire Stick. Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass.